Hey guys, happy Thursday. It's time for Puckett with Joe. It is Thursday, February 23rd. If you couldn't hear, my dog is snoring. That's what that noise was. Big shout out to John. John, thank you. That is very sweet of you for sending that tip. Appreciate it so much. Let's make some freaking money today, you guys. That is right. It is Thursday. I keep thinking it's Friday. I want it to be Friday. Let me know what you guys have planned for the weekend and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because I am spontaneous on when I come on the weekend. It's a nice way to put it, right? Spontaneous. So let's get it. Let's make some freaking money. We have a huge slate of games today, and we're going to get to all of those. Look at you guys all jumping in. Let's get to it right away. We've already got Patrick Kane's stocks rising. I know, it's kind of crazy. Okay. First game on the board, we have the Anaheim Ducks and the Washington Capitals. Now, before you go, why the heck has this line moved so much? Ovechkin is back in the lineup. So now we have minus 345 here for the Washington Capitals. Anaheim Ducks coming in at plus 270. If you want to take the Washington Capitals in this one, which I do love, that puck line has moved from minus 1.5 at minus 135, which it was earlier in the day, up to now minus 140 to minus 145. So make sure you do shop those lines. But I do think it's a way to go in this game. We've seen the Washington Capitals just being absolutely flat without Ovechkin. And I think this is a really big emotional win for them in this game. Now, the Anaheim Ducks are a team that they can definitely beat, even if the emotions are rolling high and hot in this game. I think it will add to the Washington Capitals' ability and not distract from them in this one. The Anaheim Ducks have lost their last 6, and this team is absolutely struggling. And they have not been good on the road. So this isn't a divisional matchup. We've got the Ducks rolling in here, 8th in the Pacific, and the Washington Capitals sitting 6th in the Metro. This team really needs to get this win. They're going to be desperate for this win. Now, the home team between these two has gone 8-2 in the last 10 meetings. The Ducks 1-4 in those last 5 meetings in Washington. Now, while I do think the Capitals win this, I do think they cover that puck line. I think we have a very similar game here to the one we saw last time, where the Ducks are still able to get those points on the board. Not enough points that the Washington Capitals don't cover this puck line, but enough that we push over this total of 6. I don't see this one staying under. The over has hit in 4 of the last 5 meetings in Washington. The Ducks, nice trends to that over as well. They're hitting that over in a 3 and 4 day situation, which they're in at the moment. 5 of their last 6 hitting that over. Now, the Caps do trend to that under, especially at home, but I don't see it coming in this one. I do think we see a real push out of the Washington Capitals, and they put up 3, 4, 5 goals. I can see 5 goals out of them here. 5 goals and then 2 for the Anaheim Ducks. We cover our puck line. We go over that total. So that's what I'm liking in this one. Let's move on to the next game on the board, you guys. Like I said, lots to cover today. Buffalo Sabres taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Tampa coming in here at minus 220, plus 176 for the Buffalo Sabres. Eric Comrie is expected in goal for the Buffalo Sabres. He's got a 3.49 goals against average. And we look at Tampa, Andre Vasilevsky expected here. He's got a 2.52. Now, the last time these teams played back in November, we saw the Tampa Bay Lightning get a win, but there was so many goals in this one. It was a 6-5 style game. We've seen the Lightning come in here off the win over the Ducks. They've got the Red Wings on deck, then the Penguins. So they don't have a really big opponent that they're looking ahead to. Now, will they overlook the Buffalo Sabres? Maybe a little bit here in the terms of allowing those goals to come in. We know the Tampa Bay Lightning are strong at stopping opponents' ability to get these goals. But I do think with what we've seen out of the Buffalo Sabres, taking their team total looks like easy money tonight. Their team total sitting at 2.5 to the over at minus 140. Now, the total is 7 in this game. I expect the 7 to hit and go over this total as well. And I expect the team total of the Buffalo Sabres. Now, will the team total of the Tampa Bay Lightning hit? I believe so as well. But you're going to have to take that to a 4 to get the value there in this one. So I like the value on the Buffalo Sabres, even though it's a little juicy. in this game to go over. This team, their problem and why they've been losing these games isn't because of their ability offensively. It's because of their ability defensively. And that is where this team is absolutely struggling. Now, the Lightning have won 14 of their last 15 home games. Strong trends to that over as well. In the last 8 meetings between these two, 6 have gone over the total and 1 has pushed. At this solid total now of 7, I loved it at 6.5 to the over. They have moved it to 7. We have the possibility of getting the push, but I do think this is a 4-3 style game, whichever team you think gets there. So hopefully there's an empty netter at the end, but this one's going to be tight to that total 6.5. Like I said, I loved it over at 7. Now I am concerned about getting that push. James liking that over as well. But I do think the Sabres team total over 2.5 is the way to go in this one. Next game on the board, the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, this one is a pick'em here, with Edmonton expected to start Skinner in net and Tristan Jarry expected here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Another high total sitting right at 7, and the last time these teams played was all the way back in October. Edmonton got a dominating win, a 6-3. Now, the edge offensively definitely goes to the Edmonton Oilers. I think this is a stronger team on the offensive side of the puck. They're averaging that 3.76 goals per game and 33.2 shots on goal. Now, when we look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, they're still able to get these goals. They're actually averaging quite similar on these shots at 33.6 and 3.2 goals per game. Defensively, both of these teams allowing the goals to come in, allowing over the 3. And when I look at the goalie matchup between Tristan Jarry and Stuart Skinner, I do trust Tristan Jarry more, but it's a coin flip in this one for me. Which team can get this win? The Edmonton Oilers come in 4th in the Pacific. The Pittsburgh Penguins are 5th in the Metro. Now, I do think that first period, we see the goals come in bunches. The over 1.5, way too highly juiced, so at minus 210, which is a struggle. Now, what we have to look at how these teams have played versus each other, because I really do think that is what it has come down to, and how these teams have been playing as of late. Now, Edmonton comes in off a win over the Philadelphia Flyers. They got a 4-2 win. This is their first game of a 2-game road trip. And when we look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, they've lost their last 3 games. And their last game was at home versus the Islanders. It was a 4-2 loss. They didn't have that ability to find the back of the Islanders net. Now, the Islanders are a stronger defensive team than we've seen out of the Edmonton Oilers. But that 1-4 in their last 5 overall is absolutely screaming at me. While I do trust Tristan Jarry more, I trust the offensive abilities of the Edmonton Oilers more. So looking at the Oilers team total, we can take it over 3.5. It's coming in at minus 110. They're 4-1 in the last 5 meetings with the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have struggled in Pittsburgh, but I do think we see 4 goals out of the Edmonton Oilers. And yes, the Edmonton Oilers are also 1-4 in their last 5 overall, but I think this team getting back out on the road, we can expect 4 goals out of them. We know their problem has not been scoring these goals, especially we saw them get 4 goals against the Rangers nice and early in that game, and then just not be able to play a full 60 minutes. So this is one where you can look at Edmonton to come out early. I don't trust it as much as I do just trusting Edmonton over the 3.5 goals in this game at minus 110. I think we're getting good value. And I think we see this over hit too. I think this is another one where we have the jeopardy of the push with Edmonton getting a 4-3 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. But I do think this one should lean to that over. I just like the Edmonton Oilers team total over better. Happy Thursday, Kev. Thank you for joining us. And a Lightning in regulation, you're going to be riding with John. Lightning in regulation. What are you getting? Lightning in regulation is not a battle. And the Buffalo Sabres, they just don't give up offensively. Lightning in regulation, which is they've won, 14 of their last 15 at home? In 60 minutes for the Lightning, you are getting it at minus 146. So I don't hate the juice on that. They definitely should be the team who gets a win. They are so much stronger, especially on their home ice. I love what we've seen out of them. So I don't hate that one at all. Let's look at the next matchup we have. The LA Kings taking on the New Jersey Devils. Now, this one I find extremely hard. We have New Jersey rolling in here at -144. We have the LA Kings at +120. We have a total of 6.5. Now, you guys know that I am all for the Kings right now. I love what we've seen out of them. They're setting 18-12 on the puck line on the road. We can't grab them on that puck line. There is just no value unless you're parlaying it. They're +120 as the underdog. We have the New Jersey Devils. They lost their last game to the Montreal Canadiens. They got beat by the Montreal Canadiens 5-2. The Flyers on deck on Saturday. Now the LA Kings are coming in off a hard-fought battle as well versus the Minnesota Wild, losing that one 2-1. This is the first game of a back-to-back here for the LA Kings. They have the New York Islanders on deck tomorrow. Now, the last time these teams did play, we saw the New Jersey Devils get the win back in January, 5-2. Now, this is the kicker for me. That was in LA. With the New Jersey Devils able to do that on LA's home ice, I do think this is a prime opportunity to ride the Devils at this short price of -144. And I say this is hard for me because we've got Copley expected in goal for the LA Kings, and I really have loved what I've seen out of the Kings with Copley in goal. But with Vanek expected here for the Devils, I think they're the better team on both ends of the ice and should be able to get a win. And we're only laying -144 here on them on their home ice. Now, these two teams trend to the under when they play each other, but I don't see that happening in this one. For the LA Kings to be able to stay relevant in this game, they're going to have to put up the goals as well. I think we do go over the total 6.5. Both of these teams are averaging over 3 goals per game. Copley is going to have a bad night for the New Jersey Devils to be able to get this win. Now, the Devils are doing a strong job, only allowing that 2.67. But like I said, the LA Kings are strong offensively too. They're going to have to play an offensive game if they want to try to beat the New Jersey Devils. So I'm looking for offensive game out of both of these teams on the ice. And I do think we go over the total of 6.5. And I think the New Jersey Devils walk away with the win. And you know we're taking Jack Hughes for that anytime goal. Jack Hughes being an absolute moneymaker. He didn't get a goal for us in the last game out. So I am expecting him, Matt. I love that you threw that out to come into this one and get us that nice goal. And I love taking the anytime goals when I am looking for more goals to come in on the ice. I think this is one of those rare occasions. Well, I have really liked what I've seen out of the LA Kings in the defensive games when they decide to play defensively, and the goaltending that we see them get upset in this one, even though they're on the road. And the Devils pull it off on their home ice. The Devils are 16-11-1-1 at home this season. So they should be able to get this one done. And there's no look ahead. There's no reasoning for me to not take the Devils, which I tried to find a way because I don't know why. I'm a kind of sucker for the LA Kings, but we're not going to bet on them today. The next game on the ice, you guys might hate me, you might scream, you might cry, but I am taking the Columbus Blue Jackets without plus money, plus 158 over the Minnesota Wild. Don't cry, guys. If you just want to fade it, absolutely fade it. I don't blame you, but this is what I'm looking at in this matchup. We've seen the the Minnesota Wild come in. They've won their last 3. Yes, been playing super strong defensively. They've been really being able to limit their opponents, but we haven't been seeing the production of goals out of this team. Now, Marc-Andre Fleury is expected in goal tonight. I can't trust him to save my life. I've always been a huge advocate of Marc-Andre Fleury. He's just not playing his best hockey at the moment. When we look at Corpostello expected in goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets, I really like what I've seen out of him. I've watched so many of his games where I've seen him absolutely stand on his head, and he has been able to get his team the win. I love Corpostello in goal for the Columbus Blue Jacket, and Johnny Hockey is back. Columbus is a home dog. You guys know I hate going against a home dog. It's Columbus all day long or nothing in this one at plus 158. Now, you could grab them on the puck line for parlay reasons if you want. Now, if you grab them on the puck line for parlay reasons, they're minus 162. So It is too highly juiced for myself to bet straight up, but I do think they keep this one a tight. The Columbus Blue Jackets 16-15 at home on that puck line, 13-13 here for the Minnesota Wild. The Wild don't have a super strong road record, you guys. They are 12-11-2-1 on the road this season. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets on their home ice. Yes, not a good team. Are they one of the worst teams in the league? Absolutely they are. But every dog has its day in the sun. And today, I think it's the Columbus Blue Jackets at plus 158 with Johnny Hockey and Corpustello. So do what you want with that. I don't blame you if you completely fade it. They have won their last 3 coming into a game as an underdog against an opponent on a winning streak. This is exactly the situation we have here. Columbus loves to play upset. I think they have the opportunity to do it in this one. I also think this is a lower scoring one, hitting that total under 6. And because of that, the puck line makes sense with Columbus, and Columbus's chance of getting the win makes sense in my mind too. So that's where I'm going. Let me know. You can fade me 100%. So, hey, Neil, shout out to you. Another big one with the Wings against the Rangers tonight. There is some big games. Definitely. New Jersey Devils locker room illness is running through. Okay, that is something that I did not realize. Thank you for letting me know that. With illness running through the New Jersey Devils, I'm going to have to definitely take a look at that. You guys hold off on the New Jersey Devils and the LA Kings game tonight. Below this video, after I look into where it is sitting with who is not going to be in there, what kind of illness. I'm just going to see if I can find anything on my phone, because that is definitely not what the New Jersey Devils need. I do think this Kings team is solid and strong. And if there's some really key opponents on New Jersey out, I'm just viewing the injuries. I'm only seeing Blackwood out right now. So I'm not seeing a whole list of players out. Definitely something I will keep you guys posted. Will the Wings have the first home game back after the road trip? Sloppy performance. I do believe they will have a sloppy performance. So we're going to jump into that one right now, Mike. So the New York Rangers come in here, minus 172 on that money line, total of 6 in this game, plus 142 for the Red Wings. And you nailed it on the head. I do expect a sloppy performance off of a road trip here, especially when we look at both of these opponents have a divisional opponent on deck in their next game. So the New York Rangers, they're coming in off a loss to Winnipeg in a game that they really thought they should have won. You know, we all thought Winnipeg was going to get it. Bad scheduling spot for the New York Rangers. They're going to be frustrated coming into this one wanting to get the win. They've lost their last 2 now. Now they have the Capitals on deck on Saturday, who are sitting 6th in the Metro. The New York Rangers are sitting 3rd. When we look at the Detroit Red Wings, they're off a win over the Capitals, a 3-1 win on Tuesday. They're home off a 5-game road trip here. They've got the Lightning on deck on Saturday as well. So that is an Atlantic divisional opponent here for the Red Wings, with the Lightning sitting 3rd and the Red Wings here sitting 5th. So I always look ahead at what these teams have on deck, and I think it's huge in their scheduling, especially if it's, this is Thursday in 2 days divisional opponent. So when we look at the New York Rangers, they won the last matchup 8-2 versus the Red Wings. And they've covered the puck line in their last 9 games. Now, expecting them to come out here and cover this puck line with a divisional opponent on deck, I'm not comfortable with taking it. You guys know this is too highly juiced here to take it straight up for me. This would be parlay reasons on the Rangers, but you have to be really careful. This Red Wings team is fighting like crazy for a wild card spot, but I don't like the scheduling spot here for them. So when I looked on this game, I lean to the over. I don't love it. I lean on the Rangers, but I can't get there with the juice. What I'm going to look at is a player prop in this one. I feel most confident in Adam Fox to come out and record a point. Now, this is between minus 135 and minus 140. So again, shop those lines. But the last time versus the Red Wings, he had a goal and 3 assists. So he got 4 points in the last game. I do expect him to get the point in this one. So that's my favorite bet of this game, because I do think New York gets a win. I do lean on this game going over, but the Red Wings, they've been sneaky and they are fighting so hard for the wild card spot. You never know what we're going to get out of them. They could just pull off this win, especially if the Rangers are looking too far ahead to their next game, which we know happens to these teams. So this one is a hard one, you guys. I do think Adam Fox gets a point, though, and I do lean on the over in this one. This number is sitting solid at 6. I think we can expect another 4-3 style game. Halleck is confirmed for the New York Rangers as well. It's not Igor. He's got a 2.64 goals against average. And we have Husso expected here for the Red Wings. He's got a 2.9. So this is going to be the battle of battles on the ice tonight, with the Red Wings just not wanting to lose another game. Vancouver Canucks and the St. Louis Blues kick off at 8 o'clock Eastern. Now, Vancouver coming in at plus 100, minus 120 for the St. Louis Blues. And the Blues going through so many changes, just letting players go left, right, and center, it seems like. But can I trust in this Vancouver Canucks team? I flirted with the team total of the Vancouver Canucks at over 3.5 at plus 118, and I scrapped it because at the end of the day, I don't trust this Vancouver Canucks team. I do think we still, even though we've seen players leave St. Louis, we have enough talent for the St. Louis Blues to get the win over the Vancouver Canucks. They're coming in at a short home price at minus 120 here with Jordan Binnington expected in goal. Now, he has a 3.29 goals against average. I do like what we've seen out of Jordan Binnington. Now, Silovs is expected here for the Vancouver Canucks. He's got a 3.53. I think this is St. Louis's a day in the sun as well on their home ice. They need to get things going. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. Vancouver 3-5-1-1 in their last 10. Neither of these teams doing well. But when we look at the Canucks versus the St. Louis Blues, they have lost their last 4 meetings versus the St. Louis Blues. They have, though, played strong in St. Louis, 4-1 in the last 5. I just can't trust this team. So it's St. Louis Blues or no one in this one for me at minus 120. The scary thing is a lot of people riding the St. Louis Blues on that. Canucks are a dumpster fire. You are right. And to ask them to get 3.5, now I know I've written their team total over that 2.5 as a dog. I just can't get to the over 3.5. And I know you guys, I see you guys liking Vancouver, and I see why. Offensively, this team has been able to get things done. We know the St. Louis Blues are without a lot of people. You guys, I think this one, as far as the total, does go over that total of 7, Neil. James thinking it goes over the total as well. We just look at this. The Canucks have been able to put those goals up. The St. Louis Blues are averaging 3.04, Vancouver 3.37, Vancouver allowing that 4.01. And this is my concern with this team. But the St. Louis Blues, and this is why this over is so strong, is allowing 3.65 as well. So between Binnington and Silovs, I do trust in Binnington more. I trust in the St. Louis Blues more. So their team total might be a way to go, but I think the overall team total or game total of 7 to that over and the St. Louis Blues is where my money is going. The next game on the board, we got to talk about my crappy Flames that got the win and killed my Coyotes puck line yesterday. I was so unimpressed with my team, even watching them. You know, we had the Coyotes get some quick goals there. This team is not playing good. So now they're on a back-to-back, and you're asking them to beat the Vegas Golden Knights. Now they're coming in here at plus 118 for the Calgary Flames, minus 142 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now Aiden Hill expected in goal for Vegas. Jacob Markstrom expected for the Calgary Flames. Yes, Calgary just won 6-3 last night. The last time these teams matched up, we did see Calgary get a 3-2 win back in October. And yes, Vegas is off that loss to the Blackhawks. It was a shootout loss to the Blackhawks, 3-2. That was a weird scheduling spot for Vegas. If you look at that, it was like a one-off road trip. I think these one-off road trips are hard. So Calgary has covered the puck line in their last 6 as a dog, and we've seen Vegas fail to cover that puck line in each of their last 10 night games against Pacific Divisional opponents. So this one is at 9 o'clock Eastern tonight. This does fall into Vegas not being able to cover that puck line, but you guys, there's no value on Calgary plus the 1.5. For parlay reasons, I'd look at Calgary plus the 1.5. For me, I can't trust Calgary right now with how they've been playing. They are 12-9, 7-2 on the road. We have Vegas 17-13-0 at home this season. Yes, Calgary has been strong on that puck line, but they're on a back-to-back. And while they can roll with momentum, this is a team that I do not want to back with my money. The Vegas Golden Knights winning their last 4 games at home. I think this one is, wow, we have seen explosive offenses out of both of these teams, is one to back the under. I'm actually looking at Vegas's defense and Calgary's defense, who's really been strong at limiting the ability to get those shots on goal. Both defenses to come out and play today. Now, Aiden Hill in here for Vegas. Again, Vegas able to get these block shots on goal. Their defensive side of the puck is nice and healthy right now. So I'm going to trust in the under 6 between these two. I think it's the best way to go. I tell you, this is going to be a stressful one because we know if this under is to hit, we'll know in that first period. We have seen crazy first periods as of late. We need that first and second period to be 1 goal at most in each of those for this under to stay relevant. If we see 2 goals in the first period, I tell you, we probably go over that total. It's going to be a really hard one in this one tonight. So best of luck with this, you guys. But the under has hit in 5 of the last 6 meetings in Vegas. So that's the way I have to go. I do think Vegas can walk away with this win. And I do think Calgary in this 3 in 4 day situation can hit that under. We've seen them go 9-1-1 in their last 11 in the 3 and 4 situations. So look for the defense to come out nice and strong. Now the Boston Bruins and the Seattle Kraken face up tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern, late one here in Seattle, plus 146 for the home dog of the Kraken. Can I trust the Kraken to beat the Boston Bruins again? That is asking a lot. Boston is probably going to remember the fact that Seattle went into Boston and beat them and shut them out on their home ice. It was a 3-0, 3-0 win for the Seattle Kraken in January on Boston's home ice. Now, all mark expected here, Martin Jones for the Seattle Kraken. We've seen the Bruins on a hot streak, winning their last 4, sitting first in the Atlantic. We got the Seattle Kraken. They're off a loss. They're sitting third in the Pacific. Boston. It's Boston all day. I can't look at any other way. Now they're coming in at minus 176. I'm going to look at Boston in regulation. I just think they're the stronger team on both sides of the puck. I'm looking for their defense to be able to come out really strong. I do think this is a game you take the under 6 if you're with me on Boston, because Boston's way of winning this game is going to be playing a hard defensive, strong goaltending game, because we know the Seattle Kraken can come out and get these goals as well. So give me the under 6. Give me the Boston Bruins here in regulation. I tell you, this is going to be a great game. You're going to take the Boston Bruins team total of 4 at minus 105. That's a ballsy way to go. I don't know if I can get there with that, but I really hope it comes in and hits. And I hope that then Seattle's only able to get 1 goal. So that keeps us under that total. If you like Boston laying the 4 goals, let me know if you take Boston on the puck line, because if I thought Boston was going to get 4 goals in this one, I would definitely hit that puck line as well, laying the 1.5, because I do not think the Seattle Kraken get 2 goals in this game. So Benji, let me know what you're liking. I know Boston can score 5 alone, and this is why it is so hard to take an under 6 when you're looking at the Boston Bruins here. But I love what I've seen out of their defense. I love the goaltending matchup as well. I think Allmark is going to have a fantastic night. This might be one where just hitting Seattle's team total under is a nice way to go, because I don't think the Kraken will get the points on the board. So let's quickly just check the Seattle Kraken's team total. Something I hadn't thought of playing before, but you make a very good point. Boston could go over this total by themselves. So looking at the Seattle Kraken, give me 1 second here. Their team total under 2.5 is coming in at minus 112. 2 goals for the Kraken. That's all I see in this one. So I would take the Seattle Kraken's team total. If you're worried about that under for the full game, I don't think the Kraken score 3 goals in this one. You're going for 8 units on the puck line for the Boston Bruins. Damn, I love that, and I think it is the ultimate way to go here. We're getting the Boston Bruins laying 1.5 at +138 over on FanDuel. Now, looking at this team on the puck line on the road, beautiful number here, 19-8 on the road on that puck line, 14-14 at home for the Seattle Kraken. I don't think the Kraken can keep up in this one. I am with you, James. I think that's the ultimate way to go in this game is to like the Boston Bruins, laying the 1.5 at the +138. I do think they get the win. Safer way, take Boston in regulation. I don't see this one going to overtime. I do think it stays under the total because I don't see the Seattle Kraken's team total going over 2. I think this is a 4-2 game or a 4-1 game. I don't think this is, and if it's a 4-2, we get the push on the 6, but I don't think this is a game where the Kraken get over 2 goals. And I really do think this is a game where Boston probably hits the 4, but I don't see them hitting more in this one. So all the best, you guys, in this. It's going to be a great game on the ice. Bruins maybe score 5. So if you think the Boston Bruins score 5 or 6, then hit the Kraken's team total or just hit this one over. Our goalies confirmed. Let me just see what I'm seeing for these goalie props. Ooh, Grubauer now is in goal for the Seattle Kraken. So Omar is not confirmed yet. Grubauer on deck for the Kraken. So that is an interesting one. I still do like that total to the under with Grubauer coming in here. His save shots on goal tonight is coming at 26.5 to that over at -108 to the over. Sorry, to the under at -118 to the over at -108 for Philip Grubauer. What number did I say? 26.5. That is really interesting there. We know that the Boston Bruins are averaging 33.2 shots on goal, but the Seattle Kraken have done a phenomenal job at limiting an opponent's ability to get these shots on goal. I would be looking at Grubauer to save under the 26.5 shots on goal. I do think the Boston Bruins, while they're going to get a lot of shots on goal, we're going to see these goals come in on Philip Grubauer, but I don't think there will be enough shots to push us over the 26.5 saved shots on goal. I don't think Boston gets to their average of 33.2 shots on goal. I do think the Kraken are able to hold them closer to the 27.7 that they are holding opponents to. So Grubauer save shots on goal. I will take that under a 26.5 in this matchup. +155 for the Bruins on DraftKings on that puck line. I love it. And I love the over with the Sabres and the Lightning family mob. I am hitting that all day. Like I told everyone earlier when we were talking about that game, the Sabres team total over 2.5. Now, while it is juiced at -140, I do think there is value hitting their team total. There was some -135s out there, so do shop those lines. I think the Sabres able to get 3 goals in this one. This is going to be a back and forth goal scoring game in this one. So the last game on the board, you guys, the Nashville Predators taking on the San Jose Sharks. Now the Nashville Predators coming in as a small favorite on the road at -125, +104 here for the San Jose Sharks. James Reimer confirmed here for them. Now he's got a 3.2 goals against average, and we have Saros expected for the Nashville Predators. The Preds coming in here off a win and did win this matchup back in October, 3-2. They've won their last 6 as a favorite over the San Jose Sharks as well. And while I do love the San Jose Sharks here at home, I don't think they're going to be able to get this one done. We look at the Nashville Predators, and offensively, this team has been able to rack up the goals as of late, but the Sharks actually have been doing a better job than normal, limiting their opponent's ability to get these goals. So I think this one is a close game. With -125 for the Preds, though, I think it is the way to go. Now, the Predators only overall on the season averaging that 2.8 goals per game. They've been putting up more as of late, though. So this under is a little scary with what we've seen out of Nashville in their last couple of games. But with the Sharks' ability in their last couple to really limit their opponents, I think we do stay under this total of 6. I wish it was coming in even at 6.5, but it is at 6. It's really going to be tight to that under because we look at the Preds here. They've averaged 5 goals in their last 3 games. So they've been putting up the goals, but I think this is one. We've seen the Sharks really limit some stronger opponents here on home ice as well. So overall in the season, they're allowing that 3.56. For me, it's the Preds, and it's the under 6 in this game. Yeah, Timo's not playing. Okay, let's do. Yeah, safest play, Neil, is to take the Predators on the money line. I think they do get the win. It's minus 125 for the Predators here. You guys know I love a home dog, but I just can't back the Sharks. So let's build a parlay, you guys. Let's recap these games. Let's make some frickin' money tonight. It's a Thursday. We need to increase this bankroll rolling into the weekend. XFL tonight. The NBA is back. We got college basketball. So much going on. If you missed my cup of Joe, I do have an NBA pick. So just go onto my YouTube or my Twitter or my Instagram, wherever you guys are following me, and watch it over there. I also will be releasing a video on the XFL today, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to throw out a college basketball pick as well. So expect a couple more videos out of me today, you guys, as I have a slower day with everything else that I've got going on. So let's recap these games and build the parlay. The Anaheim Ducks and the Washington Capitals. Ovechkin is back. I expect the Caps to come out and get a massive win here. I'm going to take them covering that puck line, laying the 1.5. This line has moved. It was minus 135 for the puck line before. It's now between minus 140 and minus 145. So shop those lines, get the best value. For the parlay, I'm going to take the Capitals on the money line, but for a best bet, give me the Capitals minus 1.5 on the puck line. The Buffalo Sabres and the Tampa Bay Lightning next game on the board. Oh, the total for the Washington Capitals and the Anaheim Ducks, you guys will lean to that over in that one. I do expect the goals to come in. Charlie Lindgren and John Gibson in goal expected for those two teams. Now, the Buffalo Sabres and the Tampa Bay Lightning, I think with divisional opponent on deck for the Buffalo Sabres, I'm a little worried about getting them to pull off the upset. This is the first leg of a back-to-back for the Buffalo Sabres. Now, while they want to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning because they are a divisional opponent as well, I just look at this is going to be a hard battle for them. But I do expect these goals to come in. It's their defense. It's really the question for me. Eric Comrie expected in goal 2. He's a question mark for me. So I'm going to look at the Buffalo Sabres team total. I'm going to take it over the 2.5 at minus 140. That's what I'm going to put into the parlay. You guys can look at taking the Tampa Bay Lightning in regulation. I don't hate that as well, like someone brought up. But I do think the Sabres go over their team total of 2.5. I think this is another 4-3 style game, but I could see that empty netter. Now, the total was 6.5 before. It's now up to 7. I worry a little bit about that push at the number of 7. The Edmonton Oilers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is a 7 p.m. Eastern game, total of 7. This is a pick 'em, and what I'm looking at is which team do I trust more and in which facet do I trust them the most. Edmonton, I trust their team total over 3.5. I'm going to throw Edmonton's team total over 3.5 into the parlay. I do think they get the goals tonight. I do expect 4 goals out of them on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And while I do like Tristan Jarry and trust in him here, he has been prone into some situations of allowing these goals. And the last time Edmonton faced the Penguins, they were able to score 6 goals. So I do think they have every opportunity to get the goals on the board. And if I'm thinking Edmonton will get at least 4, this number of 7, I will take to the over. At worst, we push. I do think we go over this because I do think Edmonton scores more than 4 goals in this one. I think this is a 5-4, a 5-3 style of game, getting us over that number of 7. The LA Kings and the New Jersey Devils. Now, someone brought up sickness with the New Jersey Devils. I am not seeing much. This one, you guys, I will post something below. I have to go take a look at this. If everyone is healthy for the New Jersey Devils, I'm going to take Jack Hughes for that anytime goal. If Jack Hughes is on the ice, I'm taking him for anytime goal. If there's sickness running through the Devils, I'd be very cautious taking them tonight because I do think the LA Kings are a very strong team. The New Jersey Devils were able to beat them, though, healthy on LA's home ice back in January 5-2. So So that is why I like the Devils here at home. But if there's sickness, I'm going to leave this out of the parlay. I'm going to leave this out of best bets. You guys, LA Kings have the Islanders on deck tomorrow. They got a back-to-back. So I do think the New Jersey Devils are the better team. These two teams trend to the under, but I do think if New Jersey is healthy and the Kings have to play their style of game, I think this one goes over, even though the New Jersey Devils defense is so sound. I think offensively, this team can explode at any second, and that's what we'll have to see out of the Kings. So I would take this one over 6.5. The Minnesota Wild and the Columbus Blue Jackets. You guys, I know 100 of you threw up in your mouths. I'm taking the Columbus Blue Jackets up plus 158 on the money line as one of my best bets. I think they have every opportunity to keep this one tight. Yes, I know they're a terrible team, and I know the Wild are a better team, but Corpostello and Fleury, who do I trust more? I trust Corpostello more. Corpostello, I believe, is a free agent. I think he is playing lights out at the moment. If you watch him, the saves he's able to make, he's looking for a contract. So give me the Columbus Blue Jackets here with that beautiful plus money. Johnny Hockey is back in the lineup. For the parlay, I'm going to take the Columbus Blue Jackets plus 1.5. That is too juicy to bet it straight up for me because it's at minus 162. But I do think if you take that and put it in a parlay, it is a good way to look. I would also look at Corpostello. If we can get his save shots on goal tonight, I think it would be good to take to that over because, like I said, I'm expecting Corpostello to stand on his head. The only way this one comes in with Columbus winning is as Corpostello is playing phenomenal tonight and Johnny Hockey gets stuff done. So Corpostello over 29.5 save shots on goal is coming in at minus 115, 29.5 at minus 115. Just let's break this down. So Corpostello, the Columbus Blue Jackets allowing 34.8 shots on goal and the Minnesota Wild averaging 31. I think Corpostello all day long goes over his total of 29.5 save shots on goal. We know the Minnesota Wild, they haven't been getting these goals. They will have to try to get these shots on goal, and I think Corpostello is in for a big night. So in this game, I also lean to that under. I think this one stays under the total, which makes that puck line bet even stronger. I know you're not loving the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. Every dog has their day in the sun. Got to get some degenerate money too, Neil. You're right. I think Columbus can beat the Wild. I don't know. Call me crazy. Got a hunch. I think it's all on Corpostello, though. And that's my biggest fear. If Corpostello comes out and has a bad night, we know the Wild are winning this game. The New York Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings. Again, you guys, this is really hard because the Red Wings are fighting so phenomenally strong for that wild card spot. In their last 10 games, they've won 7 of those. The New York Rangers going 7-1-2 in their last 10. The Rangers and the Red Wings both have divisional opponents on deck on Saturday. I do expect the Rangers to get the win here. I think this is a hard spot for the Red Wings with the scheduling coming home off a road trip. You guys know a lot of these teams are fade teams coming in off that road trip. The Red Wings are a fade team. They're not one of those teams who I believe in coming in off that road trip, but they are fighting tooth and nails for that wild card spot. So I can't get behind a side. I lean on the Rangers. I also lean on the over in this game, expecting the goals to come in with Halleck confirmed for the Rangers and Husso expected here for the Red Wings. What I trust most in this one is Adam Fox. I trust him for that anytime point in this. Yes, it's juicy at minus 140, but I don't mind laying it here with him. In the last time versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, he had 1 goal and 3 assists, so he did register 4 points. We're just asking for 1 at minus 140, and I do think it comes in. Adam Fox, such a strong player. I'm going to leave that out of the parlay as well, you guys. The Vancouver Canucks and the St. Louis Blues. Which goalie do I trust in more? It's got to be Jordan Binnington. It's the St. Louis Blues here. For the parlay on the money line for me. They're only minus 120 here at home. I think they can get the job done in this one. I just can't trust the Vancouver Canucks. And like I told you guys, I flirted with their team total over 3.5, but I could see a situation where they only hit 3. Over 3.5 was giving me plus money at plus 118. And we know the Vancouver Canucks issue isn't them offensively. I do think we have a higher scoring one in this one, but I could see this pushing at the number 7 being a 4-3 win here for the St. Louis Blues. I don't trust Vancouver enough on the road to get me those 4 goals. So I do lean on the over if I had to take a total, but I do think the St. Louis Blues, even though we're seeing players leave this team, I think they have enough ammo to beat the Vancouver Canucks here. Now, the Calgary Flames and the Vegas Golden Knights. You guys, Calgary stinks. Yes, they got a win over the Arizona Coyotes. For myself, I can't even back them. They are my own team. It's Vegas or nothing at -142. I think it's worth looking at Vegas here to get the win. The home team has been so strong in Calgary on that back-to-back. Now they've gone 2-5 in the last 7 meetings with Vegas as well. I'm going to take Vegas on the money line for the parlay. I also am going to bet Vegas on the money line straight up. I do think it's a good way to go. And now I do think, because I'm looking at Vegas and I'm looking at their defense, I'm also looking at the defense of Calgary and their ability to limit their opponent's shots on goal. I'm going to hit the under in this game. And I know it's scary, especially when we have Calgary, allowing these goals to come in so quick and fast at a drop of a dime. We saw the Arizona Coyotes put up 3. We should expect Vegas to do the same, but I just don't trust the over in this one. I do think we see defenses step up. So give me the under 6 as the defenses, especially Vegas, controls this game. The Boston Bruins and the Seattle Kraken. I'm going to put the Bruins on the money line for the parlay. I think they get the win tonight over the Seattle Kraken. And I'm with you guys. And thank you to everyone who mentioned the Bruins on the puck line. I'm going to tail that at that beautiful plus money. The Bruins just so absolutely strong. On the road, on that puck line, they are going to have revenge over the Seattle Kraken that did shut them out on their home ice. They're now rolling into Seattle, which they are phenomenally strong on the road. 19-8 on the road on that puck line. Look for the Bruins to dominate in this one, but I think they dominate on the defensive side as well. I think this one stays under the total of 6. I could see this one being one where the Seattle Kraken don't score those 2.5 goals. So looking at the Seattle Kraken's team total, I'd take it under the 2.5. You guys are right, though. The Boston Bruins could score 5 or 6 goals alone in this game. But I do think what we've seen out of the Kraken on defense with limiting their opponent's ability to get these shots, the best way to take the full game total is under the total of 6. I'd feel more comfortable with the 6.5. We do have solid goaltending with Grubauer coming in and Omar. Now, this is one where I like Grubauer's save shots on goal under 26.5. Just because I do expect the defense of the Seattle Kraken to limit Boston's ability to get those shots on goal. And I do expect Boston to get the goals coming in. So with limited shots, with at least 3 goals coming in for the Boston Bruins, I do expect this one to be one where Grubauer has under 26.5 save shots on goal. In the last game on the board, the Nashville Predators and the San Jose Sharks. I think the Preds straight up on the money line will be one of my single bets. It will also be my parlay bet because I think they can get it done. And it's at -125, you guys. I lean to the under of this full game, but I do think the Preds here on the money line, like a couple of you said, is the best and safest bet in this one because we have seen the Predators putting up average of 5 goals in their last 3 games. But the Sharks have been doing such a phenomenal job at limiting their opponents as of late. I do think this is a 2-1, a 2-0 game here for the Nashville Predators. So low scoring, give me the under, give me the Preds on the money line. So to recap, on that long shot parlay, we've got the Capitals on the money line, the Sabres team total over 2.5. Edmonton's team total over 3.5. Edmonton better frickin' not let me down. The Columbus Blue Jackets plus 1.5 on that puck line. The St. Louis Blues on the money line. That's -120. Vegas on the money line. The Bruins on the money line. And the Preds on the money line. For my 3 favorite bets of the day, we're going to do the Capitals -1.5 on that puck line. The Columbus Blue Jackets plus 158. And the Boston Bruins. I'm tailing you guys. That came from you guys. This is why I love doing the show with you guys. The Boston Bruins at plus 138 at -1.5 on that puck line. Let's make some freaking good money with the Boston Bruins. I also love Corpustello here at over 29.5 save shots on goal versus the Minnesota Wild. This is the goalie for the Columbus Blue Jackets. The only way Columbus wins tonight is if Corpustello comes out and plays absolutely no mistake hockey tonight. He has to play phenomenal in goal. And then Columbus can have every opportunity to get this win. Oilers will let me down. Oilers always let me down. You guys, if you think the Oilers can't get over that team total of 3.5, leave that out. We know the Oilers are Edmonton, and no one likes them at all. Best game over. Oh, that is a hard one. Best game to the over. I would say the Sabres and the Lightning. I do think that one goes over. That total has moved to 7, which I hate that we moved to 7. We're still not on that 6.5, but I do think that one goes over. And I think the Washington Capitals and the Anaheim Ducks gets over that total of 6. I think we've seen so many struggles out of the Anaheim Ducks defensively that I think the Washington Capitals, with being limited offensively without Ovechkin, have an explosive night on the offensive side. And we see the Ducks get a couple pushing us over that total. So those are the two games that I love. You're loving Edmonton. Matt's liking Edmonton. Makes me feel a little bit happier. His birthday is tomorrow. Take him over. That is a great way to go over that point. Let us know what that point is coming in for Tyler there. You guys, we got great action on the ice. I cannot wait remember, Jack Hughes, if he's playing tonight versus the Devils, or for the Devils, take him for that anytime goal on Copley and the LA Kings. I think he's just too much of a moneymaker for us to miss out on. But you guys, I will be back here at 3:30 Eastern tomorrow for another Puck It with Joe. Remember, I've got my Cup of Joe play out. It's a free NBA pick. I've got a side, a total, and 2 player props within the Boston Celtics game and the Indiana Pacers. So check that out. I also am going to be posting a college basketball pick and an XFL pick, because why the heck not? XFL is out. We got a game tonight, and I am looking forward to watching some football. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for that tip coming in. I really appreciate that as well. Big shout out to you, John, for that. You guys have an awesome day. Stay warm. It's minus 1,000 here again. It's -1 or minus not 120. Feels like minus 120. It's minus 25.5. I've got so much snow. I'm looking at a car pulling up to my driveway, and I don't know why. The snow along the snowbank beside my house is halfway up their tires. I don't know what they're doing driving such a low car. You guys have a good day. Keep smiling. I'll see you tomorrow.